Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine. It looks as if it is going to pour down with rain. So what better to do than a little bit of art? We are going to do the first prompt of the relaunched Woolly Steph's Art Club. And I want to show you, I am not an artist. I am a crafter. So if you want to join in this art club, don't feel that you have to be a fine artist. You can just respond to the prompt however you want. So let's get some stuff and I'll take you down. So I've gathered some bits. I've just cut myself a 4-inch square piece of super smooth white 300 GSM card out of my scraps box, which lives directly under my desk. I've got my little sketchbook ready, my art journal ready, and I have got minimal supplies. So we're going to try and do this quite quickly. Now, one thing that I do want to invest in, and I know I'm supposed to be on a low buy year, I would like a big square acrylic block. I haven't got one, but I've had a little think about what I want to do. And I'm going to use, maybe not that acrylic block. Let me have a look and see. Because I don't have a square one, which is such a shame, but I would like one that's this dimension square. So I think I'm going to have a go at using this as is. Now, this is something that I've been doing quite a bit of recently, and it's dead easy. I'm going to swipe some Dusty Concord all over this acrylic block here. And I'm going to spray it with water. And I'm going to kind of centre, actually I like that deep line there. I'm going to centre kind of here, like so. I'm going to press down until my ink runs. And I'm going to have some white space, which is just perfect. I don't want to necessarily fill the whole space with colour. I'm going to let this run a little bit. And just bring in a little bit of kitchen paper just to wipe my block. And I'm going to then swipe again, but this time I'm going to do 2 colours. So I'm going to do quite a lot of the chipped sapphire, and I'm going to do a little bit more Dusty Concord here. So I've got quite a lot more ink there, and I'm going to spritz again, and I'm going to try and line up here like so, so that we're roughly square. It would be much easier if I'd got a square block, and I'm going to just carefully lift that off. Oh, I've splodged a bit there, but never mind. All is not lost. Mop up that little bit there. And I want to kind of leave this bit up here white if possible, but can you see we've got a mixture of some colour, we've got some white space, and we've got a little bit here. You see, I'm quite pleased I managed to hide that harsh line from the first acrylic block, and I really don't mind this bit here. So I'm going to just heat up with my heat tool now. And because I'm using oxides, you do get that kind of chalky feel. I'm just going to mop that up a little bit there. And whenever you do this, you'll get a different effect every time. I'm going to just do that. And I've got a very soft colour there, very soft colour. Oh, I don't have to come in with this little bit here. No, I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to wipe it off. Okay, so what I want to do now, I've never used these before, and it might be that this is a bit too big, but I've got these Lavinia masks. I'm just going to cut this up here. What I like to do with these acetate packages is cut off that strip at the top And then I've made myself a little bag, and it's kind of closed at the bottom, but this is what I want. I want this moon here, because our prompt, I should have said already, is moon and stars. I'm just going to come round very carefully with this. If I take this away, hopefully I'll have a little moon shape. And I have. It's not the best. It's not the best, but it gives a little hint of it. Put you back in here. Of course, I should have cleaned you, but we'll do that off camera to save time. You can go out of the way. If you don't have those moon masks, you can just cut yourself a circle using a die, or you can draw around something and cut it out if you don't have any dies. Now, I'm trying to use minimal supplies. I've got my little pound pippin here, which is one of my favourites. And I've got this branch from Lavinia. So I'm going to do my thing again and just cut away. This branch is quite useful, actually. And let's put you on a big block. Now, I'm not going to ink up all of this. I just want a little bit of it. And I want it coming down across the moon. And I'm going to ink from this knobbly bit here, round about here. I'm going to use my black ink. And I can see pretty much where I've inked. And if I don't get a brilliant impression, I don't actually really mind. So I can see where my ink is, and I'm going to place it about there, like that, so it is in the moon. I'm pressing down to make sure that I'm making contact with the paper. And there we go. You can see by partially inking that, I've managed to keep the impression within my watercolour edge, if you like. And I can see that I've got a little bit that it's a little bit patchy, so I'm just going to come in with black Sharpie and just fill in some of those little bits there, just to make that a little bit more noticeable. So we've got our moon, we've got a thingy. I'm going to put this back on its carrier sheet and put it needs a bit of a clean, this one actually, because it's not particularly sticky. Right, let's pop you in there. And I've got ink all over my fingers now, but never mind. Now, I've got my little pound pippin. We're going to have him looking up at that branch. If I can get into him. He is adorable, isn't he? I think a lot of you have got Pippin. And we're just keeping this very, very simple. Very simple. Because that's the kind of person I am. I am simple. Okay. That's him inked up. And we'll pop him kind of here. Like so. There he is, looking up at that, as if he's looking up into the branch. I did bring in these little doobrys, but I don't think I'm going to use any of those because we're using minimal supplies. I do have this little pound star stamp though, which I'm going to do some stamping in, and I'm going to use, I think, a mixture of my Dusty Concord and the chipped sapphire. If you wanted to, and if you could be bothered, you could use a metallic embossing powder here. That would look quite nice. But I'm going to finish off with something quite nice. So, right, let's do a little bit of chipped sapphire here. and here. I do like the tone on tone. And I'm going to do just one more of the Dusty Concord in this top right corner. I didn't clean my block though, which is a little bit naughty. We'll come in like that. So we've got some in our moon and some on that top corner. Now Pippin needs a little bit of grounding. Just clean that off. I do happen to have a little bit of torn paper here. Lavinia does have some masks, and I think I am going to do blue, but she does have the acetate masks for your hills and valleys. Let's put a little bit of ink on here. And it only needs to be a little bit, just to give that suggestion of Pippin. There, look, looking up at that branch. And we'll do a little bit more here. I do love this acetate block background though. You never know what you're going to get. And I've got just one little finishing touch, and possibly we will use a sentiment. But I've got these gorgeous Gansai Tambai, if that's how you pronounce it. Gansai Tambai. Yes, I think it is Gansai Tambai watercolours. I'm going to spray in this one here, this white pearl, and I am going to get my fan brush. Oh, look, and I've made that very dirty. How naughty am I? I didn't clean my brush, so it's got a very greenish tinge to it. But what I love about these watercolours is that they are so creamy. And then I'm just going to splatter over the top. So we've got the appearance of stars. Let's give that a clean. We've got the appearance of stars, and we have got, it could be the appearance of snow. But I do like that. We've got a very subtle moon, and it's not perfect at all. I'm going to just heat that to dry it. Move that out of the way. Bend that back that way. Okay, and then I'm going to get a little pen and just write here, moon and stars. My initials, and it is the 26th as I'm filming this. So that when I look back on this prompt, I can see what it was. Have a quick little flick through my Timmy Holtz clippings book to see if there's one that I want to add. So we want something that's got moon. Oh, we've got by the light of the moon, but that's a little bit big. Might come back to that because I do like that. We've got that shine and sparkle, but again, it's a bit big. Gazed at the stars. That's the one because it's like little Pippin looking up at the stars. I'm going to put it there just like that. So in about 13 minutes, we have done our first art page for the newly revamped Woody Steph Art Club. Just a note on that while I stick this in. Steph did say after I did the launch video and the pulling for this first prompt that I could call it whatever I wanted to. But let me know, what would you call it? Please comment in the comment section. What would you call this art club? What do you want it to be called? Let's stick it on here. And there is our first prompt done. I'll be back soon. Do take care, everybody. Bye now.